the West Terrace on January 6th. I was told that I needed to watch my back because I could possibly be stabbed inside of here. So yeah, there comes the level of risk.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis set $8 million in his 2022-23 budget to transport illegal immigrants out of the Sunshine State. He proposed the spending in the Freedom First budget to protect against harms resulting from illegal immigration. The spending may include the transportation of unauthorized aliens to other states or the District of Columbia. This is USA Radio News.
Lights out. Everybody.
Matt Dillon, United States.
Good morning, everybody.
The first man I look for and the last I want to meet.
Pleasant dreams.
Goes to show you to listen to that a little long.
The greatest radio shows of all time, USA Classic Radio Theater, on these radio stations or on demand by searching USA Classic Radio Theater. USA Classic Radio Theater.
I haven't logged in.
Saturday was a big college football day.
At Saturday's 122nd edition of America's Game, the annual Army-Navy football showdown, this wish expressed in the invocation before the action.
Today, whether they cheer for Army or cheer for Navy, we ask that they would all soon come safely home.
And the action saw the midshipmen of Navy stun their rivals, the Army Black Knights, 17-13.
Really?
It's the second time in 3 years that Navy has beaten Army in that game. A few hours later, Alabama quarterback
Michael Nesmith died? I didn't know that.
The winner of the 2021
Know that?
Heisman Trophy
Who?
Award.
What?
In
Michael
his
Nesmith from the
remarks, he
Monkees?
thanked his parents.
Oh, I heard about that yesterday. Yeah, I heard about that yesterday.
My father, but a best friend to me. After that, I'm eternally grateful. My mom for always having my back, always supporting me. It's not always easy. I'm always running around.
And the ceremony in New York is heard on ESPN. And for USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
Artifacts once owned by Paul Revere's family are up for auction. The items were found in the attic of a home in Canton, Massachusetts, believed to have been owned by the family of the legendary Revolutionary War figure, the Boston Globe reports. They include tools such as wrought iron calipers, letters, and other personal items.
Died December 10th.
For USA Radio News, I'm Brad Bernard.
Alright, 3:05. Oh, come on, man. 3:05. Enter.
The opinions expressed on this program are those
We have fat thumbs this morning?
No, it's just the board.
What about it? What's wrong with it?
Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the
It's the
host
board being a
and their
pain.
guests.
You gotta be 100% accurate.
Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro
Anyway.
and surrounding towns. It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review.
Paul Revere. They found some Paul Revere stuff in Canton. A home in Canton. Interesting.
You mentioned Michael Nesmith passed away on Friday.
Your bed mic. Alright, hold on. Good morning! Welcome to Middleboro in Review. Today is 12/12/21 here on Middleboro in Review. And let's say good morning to Dawn. Good morning, Dawn.
Good morning, Joey.
How are you this morning?
Got some sad news on Friday.
What is the sadness?
Michael Nesmith of the Monkees passed away at age 78. There's only one monkey left. Is Mickey Dolenz, the drummer. So that's pretty sad. I grew up with the Monkees, watching the TV program and listening to their music. It was something that I grew up with, and I don't know. It's just him and Mickey Dolenz were the only one left, and I thought they would have tried to do something together, but nope.
Yeah, it's sad when a lot of the members of a certain band pass away. It's happened to many bands. The Motorhead. No member of Motorhead except Mickey D is still alive. Mickey D is the only one. All the original members are gone. Phil Taylor, his last name I think is Taylor, Eddie Clark, and Lemmy, all passing away. They're all gone. And again, like I said, Mickey D is the only member left. He's not an original member, but he's the only member of Motorhead left. There are several members of the Ramones who have passed away. I think there's only one original member left of the Ramones. And there's some other bands as well that have lost a lot of their original members or have lost all of their members.
What the Monkees represent, as far as a lot of people, is the age of innocence, as far as growing up in the 60s. Because their show was a clean-cut show. I think it was 65 to 68, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I think it was around that time period. And it was good. It was wholesome, clean fun. It was a bunch of guys, a bunch of boys hanging out, playing rock and roll, and it was clean. It was no profanity, no this, no that. It was the American dream. And growing up with that, watching the Monkees, Saturday morning cartoons or after school, I would watch that. I watched the Banana Splits. I watched Tom and Jerry. Everything my age bracket watched as far as cartoons back in the day, and Monkees was one of them. So it's just kind of a loss of innocence, age of innocence. So I know they had a really good career, successful career, and it was Michael Nesmith. I think his mother invented whiteout too, as far as years ago. I believe that was I was willing to believe. I think I read that, So, he was pretty much he was the businessman part of it. And there was tours that in the 80s and early 90s that Michael Nesmith didn't tour with the rest of the band because he was doing business interests or doing something else or wasn't interested or whatnot. But then at one point they all got together again. But it's just we all grow old, and we're all gonna die sometime. But I was shocked to find that out.
And like I said, many bands are no longer with us, and a lot of the bands have only one original member left. I've mentioned a couple examples, but It's sad news to hear when members of bands pass away, especially in very quick succession, like Motorhead. Like I said, a couple of years, in a span of a couple of years, all the members were gone.
The Bee Gees, another one. All the boys are gone except Barry.
Yeah.
So they lost Andy years ago when he was young, and then I'm not sure. I think Maurice went first, and then Robin, and then Barry's still alive. So, again, people grew up with these bands. It was part of their life. It was part of their fabric. And I'm not knocking the new music, but I like the old music a lot. You could talk to anybody here anyway, who in different age brackets than we are, would say the same. I mean, talking to Paul Laz about music, talking to Jim DuPont about music, even Chris Keach, everybody about music. I know Mark Pacheco likes the oldies, so well in that groove, all that early '60s music, early '60s, late '60s, early '70s, late '70s. It's just it's more memorable, I think, as far as music's from the 90s. I mean, I like a lot of the music from the 90s and the 2000s and so forth, but the music for me is more memorable in the 60s and 70s and early 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my time I've been around when I was a child. But something to do with something to do with lost their innocence. That's all I can really say about that. It's funny. I just moved by that. Usually I don't get too moved, but I just read that not too long ago. I didn't even know. It's funny.
Yeah. All right, let's do weather real quick. And then in our second segment, we are going to talk about South Coast Rail a little bit. And we're also going to do a sports segment in the second segment. And then in the third segment, Don will have his weekly rant. I don't know what it is yet.
It's not a rant.
Weekly
yeah,
topic.
it's got to be positive. I think people are sick of me belly aching every week, so I'm gonna.
Is your weekly topic that you usually like to talk about, and we'll have that during the third segment. I don't know what it is yet. He hasn't told me. Don't tell me. I'll
no belly aching from me today.
Keep it a surprise until the third segment, and we'll have some other things as well. But also today in history at the end of the show. Today in history, birthdays, things like that at the end of the show, like we usually do. Sometimes we do it during the middle of the show, but I'll look at how many we have and everything else. Because sometimes there's a lot there, so sometimes I do it in the middle of the show, but I think there's only a couple, so we'll have time to do it at the end today. All right, real quick, weather. 43 degrees currently for Taunton, and it says it's sunny, but it's not sunny because the sun's not out. I don't think the sun has risen yet, so that is not accurate, the sunny depiction here that the weather is giving me. But 43 degrees, 46 for the high today. It'll be mostly sunny today. Monday, 53 degrees, 34 for the low. So it is still going to be relatively warm outside. On Thursday, we may hit 60. So that's going to be a good thing. In Middleboro, it's 43 degrees currently, and a high of 46 today. Driscoll, Texas, 69 degrees for the high today, 43 currently. So Middleboro and Taunton is 43 degrees. Driscoll, Texas is 43 degrees. Is Driscoll, North Dakota 43 degrees? No, it is not. So we don't have 43 degrees 4 times in a row. But Driscoll, North Dakota, currently, Driscoll, North Dakota is 28 degrees. And a high of 39 today. But, Don, take a guess what the low is going to be in Driscoll, North Dakota on Friday.
-7?
-4.
I knew it. A minus was involved with that.
A high of 11 on Friday.
Yeah.
Very cold. No snow involved, but very cold Friday day for Driscoll, North Dakota coming up this upcoming Friday. All right, that is the weather for today. And it is 7:17. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, again, we're going to talk about South Coast Rail, and then we're going to have a little bit of a sports segment as well. There's some sports coming up. I know the Patriots don't play today. They have a bye week. But we'll talk about some other teams playing that will have implications for the Patriots. We'll talk about most of the AFC East and what they're doing this weekend. As the Patriots are sitting out this weekend because they have a bye week, which actually happens to be the latest bye week that the NFL has had in a while as well. Week 14. I think the Patriots, maybe some other team as well in there, will have has a bye this week. I'm not sure. But definitely the Patriots don't play today. But we'll talk about some other stuff as well. Some other football teams that are having games today and how that affects the Patriots. All right. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review. You're listening to Middleboro in Review on 1530 AM WVBF. and 99.7 WVBF. Yeah, and by the way, 99.7 is currently down, as Chris has said.
Is it?
It is. I actually forgot about that. So it is currently down. So you're listening to us at 15:30 a.m. Right now, or you can be listening to us. Go to WVBF on Google, and then there's some other different ways to listen to us there on WVBF on online. You can listen to us on different kinds of websites. If you type in WVBF on Google, you'll find different kinds of websites, because TuneIn is also down, as Chris had explained. Our stream on TuneIn is down, as Chris explained yesterday as well. So there is some other ways to listen to us. But anyway, 15:30 a.m. is the best way. And, yeah. We'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review for December 12th, 2021. All right. I hope that, I feel about that. You talked about that yesterday. Hope that comes back soon.
What?
The AM. He talked about the AM yesterday. He called in. He talked about the AM yesterday.
Who did?
Down. Chris Keach.
He called in?
He called in to...
Live?
Yeah, he called in to...
Paul's show?
No, Silver City Meeting House.
And said the FM was down?
And said, it's down. Yes, it is down currently. And also that TuneIn was down, and he explained why that was. So, yeah.
And much more. Their antique shop has the perfect gifts for Christmas. Visit them at 556 Wareham Street in Middleboro, or call 508-947-1598. Visit them today.
Okay. So hopefully it's back. Hopefully it comes back soon. Chris said that they were sending out for parts and stuff, and
Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members continue to serve in our armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now. We sponsor and or participate in many motorcycle-related charity events each year, and as a non-profit organization, donate to various veteran care facilities and veteran charities. To learn more about the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association and how you can join or support, please visit cvma2-2.org.
come on.
Hi, this is Martha.
Are we still up?
You're ready for a Medicare moment with Martha.
Hey, let's remember to check that during the show now.
On health, legal,
Just
and
in case.
issues
If we're still on the air.
and your family.
Why wouldn't it be?
It's fascinating
Well,
as
remember
it's
that
fun
one time that
as we
we
explore
weren't
all
on the
aspects
air
of the Medicare
and we were doing the show?
Join me for a Medicare
So
moment
I
with Martha.
want to make sure that.
Well, you got
that.
the... Well, you can tell. You can see the board, right? You can see the...
No, well, it wasn't going out. We still had levels.
Oh.
Okay, let me see here. We still had levels, so I just check it. Because just in case.
Spark Street in Brockton, Massachusetts offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You can reach them at 508-583-1495.
So yeah, there's bridge work on New Bedford overpass that has started up.
Call them today. You will not be disappointed.
That I want to talk about during the third segment.
Hi, this is Jim Locken.
But I want to do South Coast Rail.
2 o'clock here on WBBF, the sounds of the Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and contemporary.
That's important.
And sometimes some live singers.
And I haven't done a South Coast Rail update in a while.
Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WBBF, 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
Holiday joy can also bring holiday danger.
And the reason why I said go to Google and type in WVBF is because there are many ways to listen to us there. There are many different websites that carry our stream. Like Streama. And Chris named a couple more yesterday as
Couple
well.
what?
Chris named a couple ways that you can tune in online as well.
Bridgewater Martial Arts, you will learn about Chinese Kempo style of martial arts. They are celebrating their 30th year. To learn more about Bridgewater Martial Arts, call their number at 508-697-4947 or visit their website, bridgewatermartialarts.com.
It does kind of end roughly there. Alright, anyway. Alright. Good? Yeah. Alright, let's get this back up here. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review. It is the 12th of December, 2021. Alright. So, the next thing on our agenda here for the 12th of December is South Coast Rail. Now, we haven't talked about this a little bit, so there's a little bit of stuff going on with this. So first off, Fall River, there is 24-hour-a-day bridge and track work going on. And it's been going on since the 1st, and it's scheduled to wrap up tomorrow. MBTA's contractor will be working up to 24 hours a day during a 13-day track outage, coordinated with the freight rail operator to facilitate the removal of existing track infrastructure and the installation of new bridges, rail ties, rail, and other project infrastructure without interruption to active freight traffic. So that is Farm Road Railroad Bridge. There's culvert work in the railroad right-of-way behind Point West Drive, Horizon Way, Fall River. Access to the railroad right-of-way for this work will be through Point West Drive and Horizon Way. No street parking on Horizon Way and parts of Point West Drive to allow access for large trucks, materials, and equipment. So that is what's going on with that. In Lakeville, there is drill shaft work for support wall and river right-of-way between Bedford Street and Leonard Street in Lakeville. That's taking place this weekend, so it should be done today. In Taunton, track work on river right-of-way behind Mezzalone Boulevard in Taunton and Route 24. And north of Route 24 in Taunton. And also, residents along Deborah Drive may notice activity at the East Taunton site. So that is going to be 24 hours a day between December 10th and 12th, so this weekend and the next weekend. The 24 hours a day work from Friday, December 17th to Sunday the 19th. So this weekend and next, there will be some work at the East Taunton site. New Bedford, detour for work at Wamsutta Street. And it will be a road closure and detour of the street at Acushnet Avenue. And that took place last week. No parking between the 6th and the 10th as well. That happened last week as well. Don't know if that is continuing for this week or not. Doesn't not say anything about that. Fall River detour for bridge work at Pierce Street. There'll be a road closure of Pierce Street at Dyer Street on Monday, December 13th through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. So next week, all next week. All through traffic will be routed to North Main Street, President Ave, and Duval Street. Local traffic access only on Pierce Street. And then finally, daytime work on Middleboro Secondary New Bedford line. Construction is ongoing at the station and layover sites along the railroad right of way from Middleboro to New Bedford. So the new Middleboro station site at 161 South Main Street has work going on. East Taunton station site on 1141 County Street has things going on as well, and that it will be through this week. And it will be continuing. And there's also overnight transportation of soils to Middleboro, East Taunton, and Weaver Cove sites. And that is continuing. Activity at the Weaver Cove layover facility site should be expected during the 24-hour work, December 1st through the 13th. So that is continuing this weekend. All right, that is your South Coast Rail update. Don, your thoughts on the updates?
They're moving right along, I guess, huh?
Yes, they are. And they still have relatively good weather to do so.
Yeah, some of them...
Snow hasn't really fallen yet. I mean, it has once.
Yeah, but I mean, that was just a dusting. I mean, that doesn't slow down construction.
It doesn't, no.
No, not at all. Let's hope they keep going. We need this rail infrastructure up and going. We need more people to get off the road and driving and take the T. I did go for a T ride yesterday up to Haverhill. I'll talk about it next week. The horror, the absolute horror. That's all I got to say. My whole plans got ruined because of delays.
Well, I'll be interested to hear what you have to say.
I'm not gonna talk about it today. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, for next week.
Yeah, maybe next week. I don't know.
Stay tuned. That'll be for next week.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting. It's always an interesting topic. Issues with.
They need to streamline
trains.
They need to streamline it. I mean, the trains just go way too slow. People aren't interested in taking the trains if they go too slow. That's it.
All right.
But as far as South Coast Rail,
yeah,
yay.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still going. Construction is scheduled to end at the end of 2023. As of right now, that's what they are.
So
projecting.
2 more years.
2 more years. Yes,
right.
That's what they are projecting. The end of the construction for South Coast Rail right now.
You know what?
I mean, I don't know if there will be more construction for South Coast Rail in the future.
Well, you know what?
This.
They're putting the tracks in. They're getting all the grade crossings ready. And later on, if they want to electrify it, I think they can. I think maybe they're setting it up where they either could be third rail or catenary.
I think they're doing it in phases.
Right.
As well.
But I mean...
So this current phase ends in 2023, the end of 2023.
You just hope they're setting it up where they can add third rail or catenary. Mm-hmm. Meaning they leave the infrastructure open. So in the future, if they want to put third rail or catenary in, they can. Which is, I think, the way to go. I really do. I really think it's the way to go. I think diesel trains, I don't know. I mean, around here in the Northeast, I think we really need electric trains. But it's a topic for another day.
All right.
Well, get me started on the trains.
Let's talk a little bit about some positive I feel like, construction going on in New Bedford. There is some improvements happening in New Bedford currently. Improvements to New Bedford Overpass has begun. It's begun a couple of weeks ago. Bridge repairs and painting for the overpass, and this is going to be on Route 140 that crosses over Hathaway Road, began on November 22nd and not expected to be completed until 2023. There will be a pause in the project, or there was one, from November 23rd to the 29th for the Thanksgiving holiday travel period. So they halted it for a couple of days because they didn't want to cause any delays in the.
I think they'll do that in the future. They do that. They do that around the holidays anyway, which is very smart.
In the weather.
Yeah, they just.
I mean, in the
let this just open everything up and just don't gum up the works.
Yeah, so that is what's going on for that, and this project is nearly $1.2 million. As projected by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation.
1.2 billion?
1.2 million, it says here.
Really?
Yeah, 1.2 million. It might be billion. I don't know.
Does it say million?
It says million here.
Doesn't seem like much for
that might be wrong. It might be billion, but it says billion here on the article. I'm not.
What's the article?
I don't. It's from South Coast Today. This article here. It might be billion.
It doesn't. Well, I mean,
it says million here.
It's just painting. They said.
It says it's painting. It's bridge repairs and painting. For the overpass on Route 140.
Any project that's got to take 2.5 years or 2 years to complete, it's got to be.
It's probably billion.
Yeah,
it's probably a mistake on the article.
It has to be.
So it's probably a $1.2 billion project. Don't quote me on that. The article might be correct. It might be a 1.2, but I don't. That sounds like it's wrong. Anyway.
All right. Well, they got 4 guys working. You know.
It sounds like that's an article.
Think about it.
That sounds like it's a mistake.
Maybe it's not, but I'm just curious.
Anyway, if it is, then it's 1.2 billion. Because to me,
that sounds
right.
It
sounds
a 2-year
right
project
to me as well.
Working on bridges and everything.
Yes, to me that sounds about right as well.
Doesn't seem like enough.
Anyway, but I mean,
if they said 50,
maybe
no, but if they said 56 million or maybe
but it says 1.2 million. It may be 1.2 billion.
But that seems like a lot.
They just messed up.
That seems like a lot too, though. On the other spectrum.
Yeah.
Playing devil's advocate,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what? Be curious to really find out maybe they're right.
Maybe they are right, but I don't know. To me, it sounds a little.
Your glasses aren't fogging up over there, right?
No, to me, it sounds a little low. It says right here the nearly $1.2 million project.
Yeah.
So maybe the article is correct.
Yeah, maybe we'll take it at face value, but it just doesn't. Okay.
To me, it just I don't know. It sounds a little bit low. But anyway, if it is, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's a bargain.
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah,
$1.2 million project. Yeah, it's a pretty good price. Yep. The work is scheduled to be conducted weekly, Monday through Friday during the daytime hours of 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. and will include substructure repairs, repainting of the bridge, according to a news release from MassDOT. Nighttime work is anticipated to begin spring 2022 and include deck joint repair operations. There will be some temporary traffic and pedestrian lane narrowing restrictions on Hathaway Road, which might happen during the day, but there will be no daytime lane closures. Nighttime work, when scheduled, will have police details and standard traffic control measures, including temporary lane closures. Drivers who are traveling through the affected area should expect delays, reduce speed, and use caution. All right, so that is the bridge work update there. So it's underway now. basically it started the beginning of the month. Basically. It was scheduled to start on the 22nd, but, and it probably did. They probably did some work on the 22nd, but really it started at the beginning of the month because of the Thanksgiving recess and everything, the Thanksgiving holiday. They didn't want to mess up traffic.
Gum up the works.
Yeah, they didn't want to mess up the traffic. And so they started at the beginning of the month. So construction is underway there for the $1.2 million project. As far as we know, that's what the article says.
We could argue about that.
Maybe $1.2 billion, but I don't know.
We could argue about that all day.
I'll look it up.
You know what? Look it up.
I'll give an update for next week on that figure
exactly.
because to me, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not at the project. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
What they're actually doing. So that figure might be correct.
Well, put on your Jim Rockford shoes.
But I'm gonna look that up for next week.
Joey, put on your Jim Rockford shoes and find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're gonna do for next week. We're gonna give an update on the figure of that project.
Don't forget, make sure, because you're telling
everybody.
for sure.
Forget, first thing.
There'd be some stickler out there who's gonna remember that. I have a very good friend who's like that.
Actually, you know what?
What?
Let's do it now.
You do it now live?
We'll do it now. We're doing it live.
We're going to do it live, huh? We got to find out, huh?
We're going to do that live.
We're going to do it live. We got to get the number. And that way you're off the hook for next week if you forget, right?
Yeah.
And then that stickler who's like, you didn't remember. You didn't tell me. You know?
All right.
You going on a different article or going to another source?
Let me take a look.
All right.
Let me take a look at some of these
stats.
Some other articles.
All right. Well, we got to take a commercial break pretty soon. Why don't you take a commercial?
In about 3 minutes, we do.
Why don't you take a commercial?
In about 3 minutes. Okay, so
you got it.
Okay, so it's a second source from Yahoo saying 1.2 million.
Maybe they're right.
So maybe it is correct.
All right.
Maybe it is correct, and
painting. It's a painting thing.
Yeah, maybe it's painting and some minor bridge work.
Oh, okay.
Minor bridge work, like
all right.
Some minor, things with it.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't be major bridge work. If it was major bridge work, you'd be talking
some money.
You'd be talking a lot of money.
Okay.
You'd be talking billions.
All right. Well, that's probably correct.
Not billions. You'd be talking close to.
The scope of the project's limited, so that's.
Yeah. So yes.
Just some painting.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
so
good.
Yes, that the figure is, as far as we know, correct. $1.2 million.
All right. Well, I guess they got their journalism right?
Yes.
Good to know.
Want to make sure, because to me, what I described as what they were doing, it sounded a little on the low side to me.
Right.
But anyway, it is 7:41. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You'll hear from Coletti's Market. The best chicken parm around.
We got to go there later, right? And get something to eat.
Yes,
that's what we're gonna do. Let's go there.
Coletti's Market in Raynham.
What are you gonna have? What are you gonna have for lunch?
Chicken parm. I'm gonna have the chicken.
Why don't you try something else besides the chicken parm? There's more than
why?
Huh?
Why? I like the chicken parm.
Because the roast beef's good.
I mean, everything is good. Yes,
the turkey's good.
Everything is good. Yes, but me personally, I am on a chicken parm kick right now. So, everything else, like I said, is really good. But for me personally, I am on a chicken parm kick.
Just be careful when you eat in the truck. I don't want chicken parm sauce all over my seats, right?
But yes, you should try everything on the menu. Everything is good.
Call ahead, too, because they are very, very busy.
Yes, they are. They are very busy.
So you make sure you give at least a half an hour. Call half hour ahead.
I mean, for me today, I'll be trying the chicken parm again. The chicken parm is really good. It's a recommendation from me, 100%. Chicken parm from Clay's Market.
I'm gonna have the roast beef myself, and it reminds me of the roast beef sandwiches I used to get in high school. Now, some people say high school. I mean, cafeteria food? No. When I went to Quincy Fort Tech, there was the cafeteria food, which is the regular food, and then there was the sub line. And the ladies who made the sub line were the best. They were like they were gods to me, because you'd come in and they'd make up your sub, and and it would be the best sub you've ever had. And you always got a sub. So there was a sub line, sandwich line, and then there was the regular cafe. And the sub line was a totally different area than the regular place where you got the tray food. The tray food was all right, but it just reminds me of high school. Those subs. I always get the pickles and the tomatoes and mayo and never onions. Don't ever serve me an onion. No way.
All right, so you'll hear from Clay's Market. You'll hear from our friends at St. Vincent de Paul of Middleboro, and a couple PSAs as well. All right. And you'll also hear from our friends at Combat Vets Motorcycle Association as well. All right, we will be back right after this WVBF Middleboro Review on WVBF 1530 AM. We'll be right back. Oh, turn that down. Okay, now we're good. Now we're good. Yeah, everything's good there. But I reiterated, I'm on a chicken parm cake. I am on a chicken parm cake. Me personally, I'll get the chicken parm today.
All right, why don't you take care of your boy, dude?
I cannot recommend it enough. Clay's Market is very good. I cannot recommend it enough. It's very good. Very, very good.
You gotta start reaching out to these people now. See if they want to re-up.
Yeah, because they'll be up. They'll be up. Yeah.
Everything's up.
Yeah, they'll be up at the end of the month.
All of them, even. You gotta start calling and getting checks and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, Williams Trading Post will be up. For
yeah, well, I mean they're up.
Winter.
They're up.
They'll be up for the winter. They won't be back until March.
Yeah. April. Yeah. Well, you gotta. What do you play them one more time?
Playing them one more time next week. Yeah.
And then after Christmas, give them a live read for thank them.
Yeah.
For and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that'll be it for them, right?
Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it until April.
Yeah, you gotta call John. You gotta call Jeff, and you gotta call Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, when I go to re-up for these people.
Well, you gotta do it soon because you don't want to be left with no sponsors.
Yeah, I know.
At the end of it, you know.
When I go to re-up, I'll do the contracts as well.
Yeah, does Jeff have a contract?
Jeff, I don't know. I'll have him fill one out anyway.
Have Mama fill them out.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So I gotta get that going.
Yeah, get it going like this week.
I'll print out some.
Are you ever gonna use your briefcase?
Tuesday.
Can I take it back and get my money back?
Talk about this later.
Huh?
Talk about it later.
Can I take your bass back? Can I take car back, camera, and get some money back for stuff you never gonna use?
At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our service area, and many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms and include many of the following programs: utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals.
Okay, so you have to do. You're doing your topic.
Yeah, whatever. I'm bringing you into it too. Okay. It's just not gonna be me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's your show.
All right.
I'll steal your thunder.
And then I got Today in Histories to do.
Huh?
I got Today in Histories to do. Leave me about 5 minutes to do those.
All right, I won't take. I'll just 5 minutes. Just wave to me when you're taking too much time, and I'll wrap it up. Okay?
Let me get
my clock's wrong out here. It says 8:08. The clock's
whatever.
wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't fix it right now. I got nothing.
Veteran Motorcycle Association
I got nothing.
is an association of combat veterans.
Alright, I got
from all branches of the
got
United
one
States
day in
Armed
history.
Forces who ride motorcycles
That's it?
as a hobby.
Got one day in history, and then I got
Those who have defended our country
2 birthdays and a death.
Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states.
I got
abroad.
someone who you might be interested in knowing it's his birthday today, seeing as you are a customer of
motorcycle-related charity events each year.
his company he co-founded. Henry Wells. You are a customer of American Express, so he founded or co-founded American Express.
Oh.
And it's his birthday today. Henry Wells, the co-founder
He dead?
of well, yeah, he's dead. He's you know, he was born in 1805. Yeah, he's dead. The co-founder of Wells Fargo and American Express, born in 1805, and yeah. Whew. Stuff back up. And we are back. It is 7:50, and we're gonna flip it over to John real quick.
Joey, are you in the Christmas spirit?
Yeah. Tomorrow happens to be the first day of Christmas, according to the song.
Oh, tomorrow?
So, partridge in a pear tree tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a partridge in a pear tree day.
Oh, yeah, he's gonna think of that, right?
Yeah.
Monday's a partridge in a okay, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's funny that you knew that off the bat.
Well, yeah, I know most of the song. I don't
Yeah.
know the entire thing. I haven't heard it in a while, but I know most of it, and that's the first one.
Oh, it's good. Oh, okay, so
That's the first day. Partridge in a pear tree.
So the 13th on is the Christmas spirit, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not one who puts a Christmas tree up early, or I just like more towards the Christmas time as far as the celebration, because I feel it's a celebration of giving and love and caring. That's what it's all about. It's not the presents. It's not, you got the bigger device or whatnot. It's caring, it's loving, it's spending time with family, which is the most important thing, I think.
It absolutely is.
It really is. And I see people get frustrated driving around trying to get their Christmas shopping done. It's just, I think everyone should take a chill pill and relax, because the whole idea with love and giving is not screaming at somebody for a parking spot. Watching a few things on YouTube, oh my God, people are out of their minds when it comes to parking spots and rushing around. And I remember the Beanie Babies years ago. There'd be Cabbage Patch fights back in the 80s. People would be fist fighting for Cabbage Patch dolls, so the kids would have the Cabbage Patch dolls. It's just missing the boat there, I think, a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But people who do get it. They spend time, they help out at their local church and charity. They spend time with their family, meaning instead of buying expensive gifts, well, maybe spend time with your family. And I saw something that's funny, too, because movie cinemas are trying to, the cinemas out there are trying to get people back. And it's an old movie that popped up, and I think it's 40 years old, actually. It's on Golden Pond, okay? Screenplay by Ernest Thompson, I'm sorry. Based on Ernest Thompson, Kathleen Hepburn, Harry Fonda, Jane Fonda, Doug McKean, and Daphne Coleman, to name a few. And it's a beautiful, beautiful movie about family and caring. And anybody who's seen the movie knows what I'm talking about. It really did well. It made a lot of money. It made a ton of money, actually. So go see a movie like that with your family. Spend time, go on a little road trip or vacation, or go, just to spend time with your family more than just buying them presents and getting it over with, because that's not the point of Christmas, in my opinion. Be a little more kind to people. Be kind to older people who are just trying to get their groceries taken care of, and don't take their parking spot because you want to go get an Xbox or something. It's just missing the point. There's a lot of people out there who are just barely making the food run. Never mind all the extras and all the niceties that are out there as far as Christmas isn't concerned. Midnight mass, go to church, volunteer. If you can't find items because of the shortage of whatnot, then donate money to different worthwhile causes and charities. Middleboro Food Pantry, St. Vincent de Paul, it's a perfect example.
Yep, perfect example.
I'll volunteer, help out, or do whatever, or whatever you can do to help. It's Christmas. It's not going to the store. And I'm not knocking the retailers because they need to make the money too, and I understand that. But you can't collectively lose your mind over Christmas. It shouldn't be a chore. Christmas should not be a chore. It should be celebration of life, celebration of other people, celebration of family. That's that in a nutshell. So next time you rush to get that parking spot, think about maybe the elderly person who might need it because it's closer, or maybe get a door for somebody, or be kind to somebody. Even the person at the local donut shop or coffee shop in the morning, maybe give them a smile and say good morning. Maybe tip them a little extra because they're working hard to make sure you have what you need. You're looking for your coffee in the morning. They're there at 6 o'clock. We went through the drive-through and we got our coffee. I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. I got my coffee. So.
Yeah. Important. That's important.
I think so. I think it's just you don't want to miss the boat.
Yeah.
You don't want to be stressed out over Christmas. You don't want it to be a chore. I mean, you can go to work. You want a chore, go to work. Mm-hmm. Christmas shouldn't be a chore. If you find yourself falling into that category, you have to go back. You have to step back and reevaluate, because obviously it's not the right formula. I think, in my opinion, it's not. I don't know. It's just. I'm not saying it's not the way to be. I'm not preaching to everybody, because people, they have their traditions and they stick with them, and that's fine. But when it gets to the point where you get stressed out and aggravated and mean, sometimes you just don't. I don't think that's the right formula. What do you got going on there, Joey? You sitting there?
All right. We got Today in History.
Today in History, yay.
Today in History, that's what we got going on. A lot of interesting things here. First of all, we have one Today in History. Okay, we got one Today in History happening. And that Today in History is December 12th, 2000. The United States Supreme Court releases its decision in Bush v. Gore, which that decision was George Bush is president. That was the decision. George Bush, as the decision by the Supreme Court said,
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush wins the election.
43,
yeah,
right?
43. Yep. He won the election as the decision from the Supreme Court said. They deliberated on this, and they ruled in favor of George Bush. And George Bush became president that January. The next January.
January 20th, yeah.
January 20th, 2001.
Yeah.
Birthdays on this day. 1786, William L. Marcy. American lawyer, judge, and politician. He was the 21st United States Secretary of State. And he was Secretary of State under Franklin Pierce. He was born in Sturbridge, Massachusetts, which is now Southbridge, Massachusetts.
Well, it still is Sturbridge.
Okay.
There is.
I don't know. It says now Southbridge for some reason.
Well, Sturbridge was probably bigger back then, and then Southbridge probably popped up. Yeah, but okay.
Okay, but yes, he was the again Secretary of State under Franklin Pierce, and also the Secretary of State under James Buchanan. When it comes to history, historians say that Franklin Pierce is one of the worst, and also James Buchanan is one of the worst. So he was Secretary of State under by historical people, historians say that the two presidents he was Secretary of State under were one of the worst. But he did some great things in his life. He served as U.S. Senator, Governor of New York. He was the Secretary of War, Secretary of State. He also negotiated the Gadsden Purchase, the last major acquisition of land in the continental United States. So he did a lot in his life.
To add, John C. Brickbridge was his vice president.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he probably was the worst vice president.
Yes,
I guess.
Again, historians say that Franklin Pierce and James Buchanan are one of the worst presidents.
But James Buchanan's vice president, son John C. Brickenbridge, sorry, went and fought with the Confederate Army later on.
Okay, 1805 birthday. Henry Wells, the American businessman, co-founded Wells Fargo and American Express, two of the biggest. One's a big banking company, and the other is a big credit card company as well, American Express. And deaths on this day. We have one death. Peter Boyle, American actor, best known as Frank Barone from the CBS sitcom Everybody Loves Raymond. But he was also the comical monster in Mel Brooks' spoof film, Young Frankenstein. He also was in The Candidate. He was in The X-Files. He was in a movie called Joe, and he had a role in Taxi Driver, the 1976 film featuring Robert De Niro. He played Wizard in that film. Peter Boyle passed away 15 years ago today. We lost a great actor. In Peter
Frank.
Boyle. Yeah.
It was Frank, yeah.
We lost a great actor in Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for today's program. I hope everyone enjoyed. And we'll be back next week, December 19th, 2021. We're closing in on 2022. Just two more shows.
Right. Tomorrow is what, Joey?
Tomorrow is the first day of Christmas, as according to the song.
Have a great week.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Good show. You were tripping over your tongue there for a second.
What? With what?
Well, just when you're trying to, I don't know, just trip over your tongue right there.
It's okay. Don't worry. It happens. Can't be perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
I was striving to be perfect.
Can't be perfect.
Just for the hour, be perfect.
Bye-bye, everybody.